for your fellow class. You're going to go ahead and do an audience member, and then in between speeches, give them feedback, their name, their topic, something that they did well, something that they can improve, and if you have a question or a comment following the speech you want to share. Before she gets started, those of you that are speaking, remember the blue card is 3 minutes, and the red card is 4 minutes. Okay. Right, you are allowed to have a timepiece up there. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, let's give Rebecca our attention, and whenever you're ready.
So my father was a huge bike fanatic. We have at least 10 bicycles crammed into our house. And so his enthusiasm for bicycles kind of rubbed off on me as well. So today I'll be talking about how the bicycle came to be and where innovation can take it. So this is just a general outline I'll be following. I'll first cover the first iterations of the bicycle and how they lead up to the modern bicycle, as well as show you some futuristic bicycles. So first I'd like to point out the main accomplishments of historical bicycles. So in 1490, one of Da Vinci's pupils came up with the first bicycle concept, and even though it was never actually produced, this is what it would have looked like if it was. And as you can see, it actually has a pretty advanced system because it already has a pedaling system with chains. It's even more advanced, in fact, than the bicycle here that was actually made hundreds of years later in 1817. And as you can see, it's only propelled by the feet. So the Velocipede came around to try to one-up that and added a pedaling system as well as a more ergonomic seat design. However, according to pedalinghistory.com, it was also known as the bone shaker. So that kind of gives you an idea of how comfortable that ride was. So the bicycles I've talked about so far have a problem of not giving you much distance, but how much effort you have to put into it. So then someone came up with the ordinary bicycle, or the high wheel bicycle, which tried to fix that by giving it wire spokes for better weight distribution, as well as a large front wheel to get that distance. Of course, the problem with this design is that the center of gravity is so high up that if you encounter the smallest rock, it would fall over like this guy. So fast forward a couple decades, and you get the lowrider bicycle. And these pretty much fixed all the problems the other bicycles had, including a hollow metal frame for a lighter weight, rubber tires for a smoother ride, adjustable seats, as well as a gear and pedaling system, so you don't need that big front wheel anymore to get that distance. And they also come in a lot of fun colors, so they appeal to both adults and children. So now we come to bicycles we see people ride on campus today. And there are mainly 2 kinds of modern bicycles. The first being the road bike, and according to the book Cycling and Society, these are built for speed. So they feature a lot of gears, as well as a very lightweight frame. And even the way they designed the handlebars so that they curve downwards is so that when the rider grips it, they'll be in a more aerodynamic position. The mountain bike, on the other hand, according to the article A Brief History of the Mountain Bike, are made for all kinds of terrains. And so they usually feature very robust suspension systems like the one on my bicycle, as well as reinforced frames so that when you run over something, you're not going to feel every single bump you go over. And they also feature very different tire designs. So the mountain bike has a very thick tire with high treads to try to keep the bike as close to the ground as possible. The road bike, on the other hand, has very thin tires and low tread to reduce the friction of the road. So now let's take a look at some bikes of tomorrow. And this is actually supposed to be a video of him folding it. Okay, there we go. So I don't know how many of you guys have seen folding bikes on the road, but actually I personally have one. And so they're nice if you like to travel a lot and you want to take your bike with you. So you just need to fold it down, toss it into your suitcase, and you're good to go. Or for those of you who like to work out, the man who created this, according to BikeRadar.com, wanted to find a way to take the exercising mechanism of an elliptical and it has the propulsion of a bicycle so you can actually take it on the road. So that's what he came up with. So sealess bicycles, why not airless tires? According to an article, Airless Bicycle Tires, this was designed by Brian Russell, who also designs other military-grade stuff. And he basically wanted to reinvent the tire of the bicycle. So he thought of a way to make the tire much lighter by adding perforations and special ways of stitching so that it would still be able to absorb shock. But on the other hand, underneath this tire, there's no inner tube, so you don't need to worry about getting flapped anymore because you can't. So I would like to conclude my presentation with a quote by Thomas Edison, which says, "There's a way to do it better. Find it." In other words, there's always room for improvement. The bicycle can still be reinvented to be even more efficient while still remaining 100% human powered. Thank you.